So this is a tough one. The IEP isn't being followed. What do we do? So there are two sets of suggestions here. The first set is more informal, and the latter will be more formal. So, informally, the first thing we have to do is to schedule a meeting. We need to schedule a meeting with the child's teacher, with the administrators, with the special education person or persons that are involved in the school, and the special education coordinator. Those people have to be in the meeting. They must be in the meeting so that all parties are there who are liable for this child's education. Okay. Express concerns about the IEP that's not being followed effectively and how it is leaving the child behind in their studies and how it is hindering their progress. Second, maintain open communication after this meeting happens. Don't let that be your last time having a conversation about the IEP, because if you do not follow up and follow through, then the same cycle begins over again, and you're starting over again with that first meeting scheduling. Third thing you need to do is document everything. Document everything, keep detailed records, whether it's email, whether it's phone calls, whether it is notes being sent home, include dates, names of people involved, and summaries of conversations. Again, include dates, names of people involved, your summaries of conversations. Next, collaborate with the teachers. Collaborate meaning work closely with the teachers. From that day forward, you must continue to work very closely. Again, this is not a one-time thing. You must work closely with the child teachers, offer to share successful strategies that have worked for the child and at home, and also that have worked previously in any educational environment that they might have been in. Ask for their input on how you can support them when you're at home, if you're the parent, so that this network is working both ways at school as well as at home, because the ultimate is for the child to be a whole child and to achieve progress at home as well as in school. And last, I would say educate yourself. Educate yourself, educate, educate, educate. That means familiarize yourself. Familiarize yourself with your child's rights, with your rights as a parent, if you're the parent, under Disabilities Education Act. Okay? Make sure you familiarize yourself with IDEA. Again, that's Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. Understand that the law will empower you to advocate for your child effectively. Okay, that is the informal take. Now, let's say you've done all those things and it hasn't worked. Well, now the steps have to become a little more formalized. How do we do that? First, request an IEP meeting. Once you request the IEP meeting, now you have these discussions that may not lead to positive changes. Okay. So you have to have an IEP meeting once that happens. So please understand that if you've had those informal meetings, they haven't worked, it's time to have a formal IEP meeting. And when you're there, you are to specify the issues you want to discuss and also specify the changes you would like to see made and that you are seeking within the IEP. Those changes should be recorded, and those are the things that you should get a copy of, as well as the educators there. They'll have a copy. And again, the follow through is important. Next, mediation. Now, if the school continues to be unresponsive, this will become mediation. You can request mediation. So a neutral third party will help facilitate the resolution between you and the school. This is an option when you have an IEP in place, as well as a 504 plan. Number 3, file a complaint. If mediation doesn't work, then you can file a formal complaint. Again, this is your special education coordinator is involved at this point. Okay. So you'll have to file a formal complaint with your state's educational agency. And then after that, I won't say number, number 4, you'll have to have a due process hearing. So as a last resort, you can request a due process hearing, which is formal legal proceeding. During the hearing, an impartial hearing officer will hear you out and listen to both parties and make a decision regarding your IEP implementation. Last but not least, if all of these things get haywire and crazy, it becomes time to consult an advocate and possibly even an attorney. If you find the legal process overwhelming, please consult a special education advocate. There are plenty out there. So those are the steps, informal as well as formal steps, if you know your school is not following the IEP.